Well, good morning, guys. Bill here. Welcome. So today I think we're going to be working on the green truck. So I put this truck together probably 2 years ago. I lowered it, obviously. You know, I did the engine and interior, all that stuff. Well, it's not fun to drive. The reason for that is it sets too low. It looks cool, but it's just not real drivable, and it's not practical for what I want to do with it. So I think, well, to go back, the front end on it, when I put it together, after I lowered it, what I did is I put 2.5-inch drop spindles. I can't remember if I cut an inch, coil and a half, or 2 coils out of the stock springs. And in the back, I put 2-inch blocks, and I believe I put either 4 or 5-inch drop springs on it. But like I said, it looks good. I really like the way it looks, but I don't like driving it. Speed bumps, I'm dragging on speed bumps. I drag coming in and out of my yard. If I back into the shop here, I can pull in forward, but if I back in, I get hung up with the headers. And so I'm gonna fix that today. For one thing, I'm gonna raise it back up. I don't know how far. I don't know if I'm going to leave the stock coils on or put new stock coils on it and leave the 2.5-inch drop spindles, or if I'm just going to bring it back up to stock. I don't know yet. But also, when I had the front end aligned, they told me it needed a idler arm, and I said, okay, well, I'll go ahead and align it. I'll do that at a later date. Well, I never did. It doesn't drive that good. It's kind of, you're always feel like you're having to correct it constantly, and I don't like that. So what I've done is I went ahead and ordered up a whole bunch of parts for the front end, and we're gonna get it up in the air today, and we're going to rebuild the front end on it. I didn't order control arm bushings, but I'll check those when I take it apart. The alignment shop didn't say anything about control arm bushings on it, so anyway, that's what we're going to do. And the back, I'm going to get rid of the 2.5-inch blocks to start with. And I have some 3-inch drop springs over there, or I have the original coils. So I'm thinking about going the 2.5-inch spindles on the front and the 3-inch drop springs on the back and leaving it at that. I'm thinking I'm going to look around and try to find an old school canopy for it, the canopy, truck topper, whatever you want to call it. But I want one period correct for the truck. I'm having a hard time finding one for a short bed, so that's kind of where I'm thinking about going with it. So let's look at our parts here. So I've got, new coils, got tie rod ends, both sides, upper and lower ball joints, the adjusting sleeves for the tie rod ends, new idler arm, and all new the front and rear brake hoses, because I think those are the original ones on the truck, and I just wanted to replace them. I've been wanting to replace them since I put it together, and I just didn't do it. So since I've got going to have the front end apart today, we're going to go ahead and replace them. And I also, like I said, I have some different springs for the back. Once I get the front end put back together, we'll figure out where I want to go with the back of it. So anyway, let's see what have we got here as far as height right now. So right now we are just about right around 27 inches on the front, from the ground to the top of the wheel well. And in the back we are like 28.5. So we'll keep that in mind. I'll write that down just so I can reference it when I get this done, see how much difference we have here. So let's get started with it. All right, well, we got the tire and wheel off. So you can see I have, since this truck, it's got drop spindles and I'm running 15-inch wheels. Something to be aware of, and I don't know if all of them are like this, but I think it's just my wheels, the offset on the wheels. When I put the drop spindles on, because I wasn't willing to go to a bigger wheel, like a 17-inch wheel or something like that, they were hitting down here on the bottom of my control arm, on my lower control arm. So I believe they're 3/8 inch spacers in there. You know, I bought quality space, and I put longer studs so I would have plenty of meat for the lug nuts to bite. And they've been fine. Brought that wheel out just enough to where it doesn't hit on the control arm, and I can run my 15-inch wheels. So to get back to the front end here, I was told that when I had it aligned that the idler arm was bad and needed to be replaced. Check the ball joints. I put the bar underneath the tire, you know, and lift it up, you know, like you're supposed to do. And there was absolutely no play. It was just nice and tight. My tie rod ends are tight. Everything is good. So I think what I'm going to do, kind of like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. I know those are the original ball joints. I know that, but that's okay. They're still tight. You know, they've had lots of grease over the years. Put the new springs in it, replace the idler arm, and new brake hoses. That's what we're going to do. Let's get started on it. We'll pop this. Okay. So these ball joint nuts are you don't want to take those completely loose, because if you do, it's probably not a good idea. You're just asking for trouble. Even though there's a jack under it, you want to get them knocked loose out of the taper part first. I'm going to turn the wheel back to the other way, get my brake line off, because that has to come off. Then we'll knock this stuff apart. Oh, mother effer. Ouch. Got kind of smarted on the old elbow there. That's that part of we'll get that off of there. You can see the chip gone out of that line. So it definitely needed brake lines, or brake hoses rather. All right, there's a couple different ways to get this apart. You know what you'll normally do is I just hit it with a hammer. I mean, you can use a pickle for it, but that usually tears up your dust boots. So it's a couple of good swift smacks with a hammer. So we'll take some pressure off of that. Same thing with these right here. There's that one. I think that top one came loose too. So both of them come off. All right, so now I'll put some more pressure on them, take my nuts out, and just drop it out of there. That spring might just fall out of there too, because it has been lowered, so we'll see. There it is. Just like that. All right, so what I did, I went ahead, I took the sway bar loose from the control arm. I let the jack down. The spring just fell out. You can see right there where I cut it. All right, well, this guy right here, she know when to come. I had a pickle fork. I must have loaned it to somebody and never got it back, but I don't have it now. And I beat on it and put PB blaster on it. So, and she didn't want to come, so we're gonna try heating it. There it went. There's that one. There's that one. So we'll let these guys cool off and we'll take it apart. Kit. I personally have never used one of these. Every time I've ever done ball joints, I had the control arm out and I put it in a press. But I'm gonna use this, try to use this. I'm assuming it's pretty straightforward, I guess. Anyway, we'll get you set up. We will get this press set up on there and get that thing pushed out. All right, let's see if we can get this pressed out of here. No, this is the one that we have to use. Let's put this guy right here. Okay, and then this. Oh shit. This has to go over that. Okay, then we will hang that over the top of there. Well, I guess that's it. I only got a couple of threads in here, and I'm not liking that at all. But I don't have any other adapters to fit on this. You see what happens here. Oh, it looks like it's, I think she's moving. By golly, she is. Okay, now back up here. I have to back this off a little bit here. See what we got. Got tight all of a sudden, and I don't want the wedges. There it is, right there. Huh. That was easy. Okay guys, there you have it. Pretty much tore apart this side. I'm going to go over to the other side, get it tore apart. But for today, I think I'm going to call it a day because this is the Sunday before Memorial Day and I have some ribs I need to go put on the smoker. So priorities, you know. Anyway, we'll just call this video done right here this time. If I decide to pull that upper ball joint off, it's pretty straightforward. Just you got to grind the rivets out, knock them out, and then the other one just bolts right in. If you guys want to come back next time, come back and we will be putting this all back together and then we'll tackle the back. So anyway, everybody take care. Like, subscribe, comment, thumbs up, ring the bell, all that stuff. Until next time, this is Bill saying see ya.